Have you ever been shopping during an amazing sale and wanted to know the discounted price of an item, like an awesome new skateboard you've had your eye on? Or maybe you've been out to eat at a restaurant and needed to figure out how much money to tip your server based on the fantastic service you received. In both of these situations, and many more, you need to know how to calculate the percent of a number. So, how do we calculate the percent of a number then? Well, first, let's dive into the meaning of the word percent. The word percent is defined as parts per 100. So, if we have 1%, that means we have one part out of 100. Since a percent represents part of a whole, we can represent percents as both fractions and decimals. As a fraction, 1% is equal to 1 out of 100, which is equal to the decimal 0.01 or 100th. To calculate the percent of a number, we'll be writing percents as decimals, so let's make sure we've got the hang of that by trying a few more examples. 5% is equal to 5 out of 100, which can be written as the decimal 0.05 or 500ths. 25% is equal to 25 out of 100, which can be written as the decimal 0.25 or 2500ths. 60% is equal to 60 out of 100, which can be written as the decimal 0.60 or 6000ths. We can actually write 0.60 a bit simpler as 0.6, since the 0 in the hundredths place doesn't actually change the value of the decimal. 60 and 6/10 are equivalent decimals. Alright, now that we know how to write percents as decimals, let's work on finding the percent of a number, starting with calculating a tip. A tip is an additional amount of money you pay for a service you received, like when you eat at a restaurant and leave a tip for your server. Here's an example for us to try. Jill is eating dinner at her favorite restaurant. Her bill is $30. If she wants to leave a 20% tip, how much should she tip? Don't forget, to find the percent of a number, we need to write the percent as a decimal first. 20% is equal to the decimal 0.20 or 0.2. Then, we multiply the price of the bill, $30, by the decimal 0.2. Remember, when multiplying decimals, we multiply just like with whole numbers, and place the decimal point in the answer so that our answer has the same number of decimal places as the two numbers we multiplied. 30 times 0.2 is 6, so Jill should leave a tip of $6. Now let's move on to sales tax. Sales tax is a percentage-based fee charged by the government that is often added to the price of certain goods and services. Let's try this problem together. Max spends $84 on art supplies. If the sales tax is 8%, what is the total cost of his art supplies? First, we need to write the percent as a decimal. 8% is equal to 0.08. Then, we multiply the price of the art supplies, $84, by the decimal 0.08. 84 times 0.08 is $6.72. Since this problem asks for the total cost, we need to add the tax to the price of Max's art supplies. $84 plus $6.72 equals $90.72. The total cost of Max's art supplies is $90.72. Up next, we'll talk about how to find out the price of something when it's on sale. Remember the awesome new skateboard I mentioned earlier in this video? Since the skateboard is on sale, you're purchasing it at a discounted price, which means it costs less than its original price. Let's look at the specifics. The skateboard you've wanted to buy is on sale for 55% off. If the skateboard is originally $64, how much will you have to pay? Just like in the other situations, we first write the percent as a decimal. 55% is equal to 0.55. Then, we multiply the original price of the skateboard, $64, by the decimal 0.55. 64 times 0.55 is $35.20. Don't forget, though, that $35.20 is the amount of the discount. To find the sale price of the skateboard, we have one final step. We have to subtract the amount of the discount from the original price of the skateboard. $64 minus $35.20 equals $28.80. The sale price of the skateboard is $28.80. Let's try this example now. In her job as a jewelry salesperson, Kate earns a commission of 12%. If she sells a ring for $257.99, how much commission will she receive? Commission is a percentage of money paid to an employee based on the price of items they helped sell. Since Kate earns a commission of 12%, we need to multiply the cost of the ring, $257.99, by 0.12. $257.99 times 0.12 is 30.9588. Now, because we're dealing with money, it's important to round our answer to the hundredths place, which is the same as rounding to the nearest penny. 30.9588 rounds to $30.96, since there's an 8 in the thousandths place. Kate will earn a commission of $30.96 for selling the ring. Let's tackle one last problem together. Brett is reselling a rare baseball card that he bought for $90.25. If he marks up the price by 37%, what is the new price of the baseball card? A markup is a percent-based increase on the original price of an item. Since Brett is marking up the price of the baseball card by 37%, we need to multiply the original price of the baseball card, $90.25, by 0.37. $90.25 times 0.37 is 33.3925. Just like with the last example, we need to round this amount to the hundredths place because we're dealing with money. 33.3925 rounds to $33.39, since there's a 2 in the thousandths place. Brett is marking up the price of the baseball card by $33.39. Do you know what the final step is? If you were thinking we needed to add the amount of the markup to the original price of the baseball card, you're right. $90.25 plus $33.39 equals $123.64. The new price of the baseball card is $123.64. You did an incredible job with all of these examples. Now, when you face some of these situations with finding percent of a number in the real world, you'll know exactly what to do.